Let's try this again. Hi, my name's Michelle. I'm really glad that you're here today because we're going to be looking at some new Dior that just was released. I ordered these off of the Dior website. These are, well, so, I mean, the whole Dior experience is just great, and it makes you feel good about the environment, although I have to say it's a lot of work opening up this box, which is kind of funny. I do love how they give you a little bag of goodies that comes with it. Let's see what we got here. We got some of the Capture Total Le Serum. Oh, we got some J'adore L'Or perfume and a Christian Dior Le Baume. So we've got some nice things to try later. But we're all here for the same thing. I have not looked at these, obviously, because I wanted to do it with you. But one of them is called number 010 or 10. And this is the Copper Essentials. And the other one is 011 Silver Essentials. So I had already fallen head over heels in love with my Cool Neutrals palette a long time ago. For me, anytime I have an eyeshadow look that's in those cool tones and I need to blend something out, this is what I pull out. This palette makes other palettes work better, and that's why I like this. I really rarely use that on by itself, on its own. So after the cool toned person in me decided that I might really want to wear a warm eyeshadow, and I was right, and I bought the warm neutrals, which is the 001, and of course this is the 002. So this is what the warm one looks like, and it's got that one pan in it that, let's see what they all do. Yeah, it's got like a primer in it. And then I most recently picked up, even though it's not the most recent, the 004 Rosewood Neutrals. And these are all in the old formula. This one has that also. I love them as a helper palette to a whole bunch of palettes. Or if I need a quick look out the door, usually something like this takes 2 seconds to blend and I'm done. So I'm kind of excited and also a little bit nervous because these have been reformulated and I'm not sure how they are going to work. Now, I admit I am not a Dior Quince person. I just never really went that direction. I don't know why. There were so many people that were so into like the Dior Mitza and all that kind of stuff, and I have loved their lip products to the point of obsession, and maybe they're going to stop me from continuing to keep buying those. But between the plumping glosses and the sheer lipsticks and the mattes, and now they have these forever they're not going to come off things, which are not for me. And these balm type things where you get some color with it. My Dior lip wardrobe is beautiful. I still have some from, I hate to go at how many years ago it is, but I keep it because if I ever get a chance to make my own lipstick, I want to make the color of this one Dior that I had. So I don't have any blush from Dior either, which is so weird. I'm not much of a powder blush person. And, you know, unlike the Chanel that came out with those cream ones, they really stuck by their cheek products have been powders, which is why I have, I guess, not found them. So all I have on my face right now is a little of my new beloved Live Tinted Under Eye Corrector with some concealer in a couple places. I put a little bit of a bronzer contour on, and my brows have been spruced. I really want to do a look with each of these separately, and I'm sorry, but the cool toned woman in me wants to open this one first. Very excited. Okay, this is Dior Silver Essentials. So I can actually turn it this way because there's no mirror reflecting on you. So up at the top we have Satin Pearl. In the middle of the top row we have Shimmer Pink, and then Satin Mauve. The second row we have Satin Silver, Satin Steel in the middle, and Shimmer Anthracite on the end. And then we have Pink Satin, Lilac Hologram, and Blueberry Satin. Okay. We are going to, oh, these are so pretty. A little bit of dust, and I've heard that these have a little bit more kick up, and honestly, these are pretty powdery, but for some reason, because they blend so well, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. I love these because these help me make other palettes work. When I saw this one, like a picture of it online, I jumped and I ordered it. I got it delivered quickly so that I could share it here with you. And wow, it does not disappoint at all. The colors have dimension. They're not super on the nose silver hologram, but this one color at the top, they don't have that cream shade anymore, but they have a smooth one, and it's a shimmer, and I'm not sure why they stopped doing that, because I don't know, maybe because no one used them and they got gross because there's nothing covering it up. Like Natasha Denona has the little flap she has with protecting her cream and powder products, and so does Patrick Ta. They both do that. I mean, the Dior Backstage is definitely the little sister, and I'm okay with that. You get 9 shades instead of 5, and even though the colors are quite, these are almost like in sets of types of colors, whereas the Quints are sort of their own color story, more of a mix. Now this one also caught my eye. This one is called Copper Essentials, and I'm going to turn this way again. Going across from the top we have Beige Matte, Gold Shimmer, and Satin Bronze. Middle row we have Satin Greige, Satin Ginger Brown, boy that's hard to see, and Matte Mahogany. On the third row we have Satin Copper, Matte Deep Brick, and gosh, the dark ones, Matte Cranberry. They like the berries in this one. Between the blueberry and the cranberry, I'm getting kind of hungry for some fruit. All right, let's look at these side by side. They made everybody happy this year. Whether you are a cool tone fan or a warm tone fan, you are going to find something that you like from these Dior Backstage eye palettes. And I'm hoping that this formula is delightful. They have taken out the talc of these shadows. And we're just going to see how they perform. We're going to see how they look on the eye. And I've got my, I'm sorry, it's freezing here today. Like, we go from 900-degree weather to like freezing weather, and I'm so cold. But I happen to have this yummy sweatshirt in gray, and then I also have it in a peach color, so I'm going to change for you into a different sweatshirt, because that is the kind of stuff that I do for you on this channel. I change into different sweatshirts to match Dior eyeshadows. Okay, I have not primed my lids. I always do. I want to give these the best chance that they have of doing their best job. I've had a lot of success lately with this Eye Stay Primer from Guerlain. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on my fingers. And I'm just going to put that on my lid. I'm sorry guys, I just didn't even feel like foundation today. I was just excited about the eyes. And I did pull out some Phytosurgence blushes to really amp up whatever our looks are today. Okay, so like where do you start with something like this? Well, I guess we start by making some kind of a shadow, but like there's so many options. I'm like, ooh, so excited. Okay, let's start out with maybe putting, I'm thinking we're gonna put something all over the lid to kind of give us a little base to work off of. So I'm down here in Satin Pink. And I'll put a picture of these up. So all I'm doing is just covering my mobile lid and just kind of taking a little bit of this shadow. By the way, I'm trying a new camera angle today. Even though it may not seem very different to you, I'm trying to show more of what I'm doing. I do need the mirror a little bit close up because of my vision, but we're gonna try this angle. We're gonna see how this works. All right, so I just kind of like gave myself a little base to work off of, and it took to the primer very, very well. It seems to be very smooth, not too much kick up on the eye. Not seeing any fallout at this point. There is some powder in the pan, but we knew that. Nothing different. Okay, I do like to take just a tiny bit of it under here, just in case I have a little extra skincare there. Okay, now we gotta make some really big choices, and oof, I have a hard time making choices. Okay. I'm going to go over here on this side, and I am going to grab Shimmer Anthracite to start building out my lash line and giving myself some lift. And I'm going to use the Scott Barnes fan brush, and I'm going into this very, very deep color right here. It's anthracite. Definitely tapping off. And I literally just want to start to get a shape and building out that elongated eye that has gotten more important to me as my eyes have become more hooded. Okay, this one is definitely a little patchy. Let's try a different brush. See if we can go in with something a little bit more dense and small, if we can avoid the patchy. You know, I love fingers. You can't fault me. They are easy, they are free, they are warm. Definitely could see cleaning up after this one. I'm gonna go on this side. Am I still in camera? That's the question. The question of the day is, can you see the angles? So I am just bringing this up and out. This part of my lid was not always like this. I had so much lid space to play with. Now if I want some space, I can get it going this direction for sure. Got loads. So I am just kind of like pulling that across. And you can see like this one is kind of going out more, this one's kind of going up more. Yeah, this color just isn't the easiest to blend. Let's try something maybe with a little less pigment. I'm going to go into this bottom row here to this hollow lilac color. And I want to soften the line between the wing out and the rest of the eye. This is a really pretty color, and I can see tons of people wanting to incorporate that into a look. Just beautiful. Okay, I've got that on both eyes. That went on super easy. And we'll be able to darken things up as we move along. I think that maybe there just wasn't enough primer over there, or I don't know. I would like to try some of this light gray color called Satin Silver. And I'm going to take an Angie's Singe Beauty EO2 brush, get some on here, and I want to start building up this believable shadow. And what I'm doing is going up against the brow bone, just trying to blend that up and out, like so. Her brushes, the Singe Beauty brushes, guys, for $55, number one, you've probably been watching her forever, and if you haven't, I will link her down below. She's the queen of color. She is the most bubbly, excited, fun personality, great videos to watch. She loves doing color looks, that's her thing. And this is her little baby. She's actually, I just saw, is doing a whole new collab with Odin's Eye. So that's something exciting to look forward to. Okay, I'm going to go into this middle color now, this middle gray, this satin steel. I want to try to get that crease a little bit darker, especially over here. Kind of blend out some of the light. Now, normally it would kind of be the other way, but when I saw how patchy the other one went on, I wanted to give this every possible chance that it could for success. I mean, I don't know. Go back into the middle. I'm actually going to take my finger this time and I'm going to go up into this top color called Satin Mauve. Maybe we just went too dark too fast over there. Maybe we need to do this in steps. That's pretty. That makes my green eyes very happy. That was really nice. Wow. Okay. I'm feeling better about this. More optimistic. I don't remember them putting out another cool toned 9-pan. I remember coral, rosewood. I have the cool neutrals, the warm neutrals. I think they did one that was mahogany, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay, this is starting to look like crazy blue eyeshadow, and we are going to need a clean brush to just do some absolute buffing here. We've got a lot of colors here, and I don't like the way they're blending. And I hate to say this, but I'm taking it off and starting over. Okay, let's try that again because that was a disaster. I'm going to go into this middle shade called Satin Steel, just on the tip of a Wayne Goss 05 brush, and I am literally just going for that brow bone, going right up against it because my crease is no longer there. My crease is much further down now that my eyes are so hooded. So I am just going to gently create my own shadow here using this really beautiful steel gray color. Gray is such a beautiful tone for so many skins because it's got some coolness to it, but also I think just having the metal part of it going for it. I know some people prefer to wear gold or silver jewelry, but I don't know. I get the feeling that in terms of this palette, I think even if you're not like a cool tone fanatic, the fact that there's a shade called Hollow Lavender, which doesn't look very hollow to me, but, and I don't mean hollow like you can put something through it like a straw. I mean like hologram. Okay, Michelle. Yeah. So I am just building up my crease here against the brow bone, my fake crease, And I am running that straight over here. Going with a tiny bit more over here. Really concentrating on hitting that brow bone and pulling that shade out. Okay, I think that's a way better start. What happens is if this part of your eye, like mine, is coming down more, you just have to compensate. Putting a little more shadow there and pulling it out a little bit more than you normally would. Wow, I don't know if we need to be a little bit further to see both. I'm not sure. We're trying the new thing today. So obviously there's a mirror here. Okay, so we've got this middle shade and it is really pretty. And I think instead of like going like right into the darks, I think we're going to sort of build that way. Right now, all we have is some shadow in the crease. I think we're going to go maybe into this smoky, kind of smoky purple color. And I'm using an Angie Hot and Flashy A503, tapping off. And just seeing if we can't start to really get a nice shape going here. Boy, these brushes, you guys, I have never owned BK brushes before. And I picked up the Angie Hot and Flashy set after hearing about it and seeing people using it, that, you know, her whole line that she put together. And color me impressed, because these brushes are so soft. But I find these brushes to be really easy to use. And I did see that she's going to be doing another collab, so I'm excited to see what they've come up with this time for brushes for mature eyes, guys. If you don't have these brushes, they are definitely a yes, please in my book. More. I'll take them. Actually, I would like to try some of their face brushes that are not in the Angie Hot and Flashy group also. Okay, I think we've got kind of a nice thing going in the crease here. We, excuse me, we started with sort of the gray of this and kind of went into like a little bit more of a purpley color. Now they're not calling any of these shades mattes. We have satins, we have shimmers, and then we have the hollow lilac. Oh, how is this hollow? I guess it's got that shimmer. I guess we'll see, like when we put it on. Should we put it on the center of the lid? Let's do it. Okay. I'm gonna get my rougher 21, because if we're going that way, we're going that way. Ooh, but wait, there's another shimmer here. All right, we're gonna go into the hollow first. If this is gonna be the hologram palette, we should definitely know if there's hollow. And I'm just literally just gonna place this on the center of my lid. That is pretty. And I kind of do see the shift. I don't know if it's a full hologram effect. If it was, I don't know that I'd really want to wear it. But this does seem to be a shifty shade. And I guess that's what holograms do, but I think this is more of the lavender variety. Okay, I kind of like that. Gave us some brightness. Kind of gonna go right here to like where the fake crease or where my real crease is. Okay, so we've built a frame and we've started a really cool color in the center there that when the light catches it, I think it's gonna be even better when I use it with my finger. It's gonna be fun. There is a shade in here that's very pearly, and it's very different than the ones in here, although I do think there's one like that in the rosewood. There is. Rosewood still has the cream thing, but right here is one of these shimmery flat, I don't know, pressed differently. We're gonna take, all right, let's start with the A505. I wanna go into this super shimmery shade, aptly named Shimmer Pink, even though I think it looks very champagne-y in the palette. Doesn't really read as a pink. Take this up, just up on the brow bone a little bit. But what I'm doing is trying to fill this center area with light and take the light up and around. There we go. Okay, so when we started talking about these palettes, I hadn't used a bunch of these as standalone palettes. I always use them to bridge a look, make a look work, get a color in there that I can blend some things with. And this palette, now that we've gotten our bearings, I think that it could stand on its own. All right, okay, I have a few brushes. This is a Scott Barnes 63, and I know that he has kind of started and stopped and started and stopped some different waves of his own beauty brand. I have heard that he is reformulating and hopefully bringing his brushes back. This one in particular is, it's like a sort of like a half of a fan, but not really. But the really cool thing about it is you can get almost like you're doing your winged eyeliner, but with shadow. I am going into, I'm going to do it again, going into that deep shade, that anthracite. And I'm just coating that top part of the brush, remembering that these are powdery and do need to be tapped off. I'm taking this right here. See how it fits beautifully? And I'm just going to carefully press and see, I'm really far back on the brush, letting the brush do the work, getting something soft. I really didn't want to go in hard since we had a hard time blending this last time. But this shadow brush really does pull out color the same way that a winged eyeliner would. And I really think at my stage of the game, because believe me, back in the day when we used to go to Barney's in the city and it was buy makeup or eat, we bought makeup. And in case you're wondering, we saved some of our money for, I'm sure, going out for drinks. But in lieu of eating, we wanted our makeup done. We would go there, we would hang out. Somebody, you know, would start putting makeup on somebody and the whole thing would turn into like such a fun party. And you can even take this one reversed and use it to get like right into your crease too, which is cool. But I used to get winged liner all the time. All the time. Loved it. It was like my favorite thing in the whole world. But since my eyes have changed and they are more hooded, there's some more wrinkles going around here, it just doesn't, it's not as fun, you know. I don't feel it. I see these girls doing these very like harsh looking winged liners and it used to be special and it just isn't anymore. I like the appearance of an eye being blown out this way. Boy, this anthracite color is gorgeous. We just went in a little too crazy at the beginning. And as you can see, this is just like putting itself on. It's crazy. Go from one side to the other. Pull it in. I mean, the brush does all of the work. I love this. Okay, now I'm starting to feel the silver hollow of it. Okay, I'm dying to go into this pearly shade. Dying to go in. So we are having some luck with the Angie's. This is the A502. I'm gonna get some shimmer on here, just on the edges of the brush. Do a tap. And let's brighten up in here again and this way. So we've taken two shadows now in that inner corner, used it to pump up and come across. And this is beautiful. Look how easily that just opens up the eye. Putting a little bit of shimmer there underneath the brow bone, really pretty. But also, like, a lot of times with this part of the eye or this part of the eye, people forget that's like space. You know, like that's good real estate to have. Okay, I'm going in with my finger with that hollow color. Oh, now that is very ooh la la. Kind of taking it everywhere now. I love it. It's so amazing how a finger warmth can transform an eye look better than any of the 100 brushes I have sitting here in front of me. These are always my favorite tools. Okay, we haven't gone into this deep dark purple yet, this color called Satin Blueberry, and we haven't had a chance to try it. So I am going to use that same wingy brush, and I'm literally taking the smallest amount. I'm really tapping, and I'm just going to go a little lower and out. More so than I did with that anthracite color. So I just want it to have its own trajectory, I guess. And this Just take your time. This is building nicely. I was all excited, like, I gotta get this video up for everybody because it's brand new. Taking just a tiny bit of this underneath my eye. I think my dog's trying to break into the room right now. He opens doors, so don't be shocked. Okay, so we are going to definitely blend out that under eye now. We're going to take the BK504. I'm going to go into this silvery shade and take that across the lower lash line, particularly from the inner corner to about the center, and you can go a little bit over here, but you really don't need to. And it just breaks that color up enough to make it not look smudgy. Okay, now is when I take a look at myself. Okay, I know that one of the things that works for me is when I take my finger in one of the mid-tone colors. So I'm taking this actual middle one called Satin Steel, and I am just going to put this with my finger in this up and out motion, sort of connecting that. And this is one of those let's get it all blended together kind of colors and moves. Okay, we are going to take this. Oh my god, Angie, having flash. This is like the mood, huh? We've got this pearly white, and I'm just gonna put it right here. To really brighten that area. And that's kind of fun. I think this is a very colorful eyeshadow look, but I'm trying to use all of these colors for you. I'm gonna take a brush, just a blending brush, and I'm gonna really like work that lighter color in here and pull it out. Just getting this whole part of the eye really blended. I'm gonna continue to wipe off. When you have a super powdery shadow and you're not getting the kind of depth of pigmentation without the patchiness, little extra blending goes a long way. I think with any look. I mean, like, most of the time, if a look is blended and somebody's taken the time to really make the colors go into each other in a very either elegant or very enchanting or very exciting way, depending on how you like your looks. I like coherence. I usually like it when something from my eyes is going to match something from my lips. I'm going to take this purple tone again because I'm liking the way that that's picking up the hollow. I'm going to use this underneath here just on the outer third. And I'm kind of pulling that up into that crease area too. See, we're following this straight. If you raise your eyebrows, you have more space, but it's still going to come back down, which is why this wing-ish shape is so much more mature skin friendly than the actual wing. I don't know why I just closed that. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to just really accentuate right here down at the bottom, back with the anthracite color. And I'm literally just going to concentrate it right at the outer lash line. Wait, that color just doesn't want to blend. Just doesn't want to blend. Trying to make a good connection here. Oh, I don't know, guys. That was my phone, by the way. Okay, I think patting this softly and gently was a better idea than this. I think what we're going to do is really go in with the hollow color again in the center. And I want to put some mascara on. Excuse me. I want to put some mascara on and some eyeliner so that we can build this elongated shape and try to get rid of some of this patchiness that we have from the deeper shades. Okay, this is not as easy to work with as I thought it was going to be. Color story is very pretty, but as I'm sitting here now, I'm not thrilled. I'm not wowed. I'm not excited. Maybe if I spray. We can kind of let the glycerin melt some of the powderiness away. Okay, I'm going to grab some liner and some mascara, and I will be back with you in just a second. Okay, the liner that I grabbed is the Rouge Noir. It's actually a kohl. Oh, is this one that's, well, it's almost gone, but this one's from Chanel. It's one of their contour eye crayons, and I use it as a eyeliner. I have a very large waterline. You can see a lot of it. And it benefits me greatly to tight line from the inside to the outside. Most people can go in this way. I have to go in this way because this waterline is so noticeable. And if I leave it, my lashes just don't look as thick as they are. Okay. See, a little liner. We're coming together. It's gonna happen. I'm not worried. Okay, we are going to put on some mascara, and I definitely want to go with an old favorite. I don't want to go with anything that I haven't had a ton of experience with. So I'm going in with the Future Lash. This is the original from Victoria Beckham. Just wiping my brush off. You know, sometimes this mascara in particular will pull out a couple of clumps, and that's fine. Just kind of a pain. But I love this because it's a tubing mascara that you can put on with like wild abandon and it'll still work for you. I like to blink into a mascara, roll the mascara wand, wiggling it up over here, and as you can see, I am pulling out. Got to get those little inners. Now, I dink myself every single time I put on mascara. As long as you leave it alone and let it dry, it comes right off with a spoolie, and I will show you. See, now I can let this dry completely, this formula, and I can go right on top of it, and I don't know another mascara out there that's tubing that does that, including the new one from Victoria Beckham called Vast Lash. I'll use that one in my next video, and you'll be able to see the difference. Now that is really pretty. Sometimes you gotta trust that a little eyeliner and a little mascara are gonna save the day. And these are wow, this is really pretty. Gotta get those little guys. See, putting on mascara is not that exciting, but it does have to do with pulling the look together. And choosing a nice eyeliner to complement whatever it is that you are doing in a dark enough color where it's also going to make your lashes appear more thick and dense. It's a good thing. All right, I'm going to take clean fan brush, small fan brush from Scott Barnes. I am going to go into this silvery color called Satin Silver. Wow, I could have been on the shade naming committee. And I'm just running this underneath my lower lashes to kind of blend out the deeper shade. And because I went nice and high and up with my eyeliner, I think I'm going to be able to do a little bit more over here. I'm going to take a very dense little brush, and I'm not going to go in with the crazy darks. I'm going to use this purple color that I've been leaning on, this satin mauve, and I'm going to see what I can do about just pulling some of that out. And yes, I see that I still have mascara and I'm letting it dry. So let's see if we can pull this one out. Well, I like that. That's really pretty. Okay, let's trust. We're going to take a tiny bit of this anthracite one. I'm going to make sure that my finger is coated evenly, but that I tap off most of it. And just add that smokiness with my finger. And that worked like a charm. And I'm going to go back into this black anthracite color. Again, making sure it's on my whole entire finger. Patting off some of it. And going in. It almost melts the shadow. Yeah, this is a beautiful palette. Take a little more of this silver. Really pretty. Okay, we're going to get some of this stuck mascara off. I'm going to show you how easy this is. You need a clean spoolie. And you just kind of scratch off. My lashes tend to rub up here too. Scratch off anything that you dinked. And then you can just take any kind of like fluffy-ish brush and just kind of move that stuff out of the way. I don't know what's going on my inner waterline right now. Not much. And I think that there needs to be. This is the Victoria Beckham, does not even have the waterline brightening pencil. All right, so I'm just going to pull down my lid. Be very careful since I already have my mascara on. And I can see that some of the Chanel color did transfer, and that doesn't bother me actually. I kind of like the fact that it's more of a lavender then and less stark, more like it's part of the color story. I mean, that's just like a really nice thing about these waterlines, these waterline colors, that if you use them, you can use them even in combination with another color just to make it look more native to your look. Now let's do a little cleanup. I'm going to take a Q-tip and I just want to make sure that we are as pulled out as we want to be. Okay, I'm liking it so far. I think that some of these lighter colors are going to be a little bit harder to wear, but again, I really don't see these as standalone palettes. I see going into these and amping up a look or settling down a look or whatever something needs to happen. I mean, I'm just looking here and I could just sit here and go, okay, well, if we just pull this out a little over here, you know, if I'm looking at myself trying to even things out, getting ready. You know, my eyes are not, I guess nobody's eyes are the same. We always talk about the eyebrows are sisters and not cousins. What is it? I don't even know. They're sisters, not twins. I think that's what it is. But all right, well, that is really pretty. It's a lot, but oh well. Let's put on some of our holographic Dior lip balm, or what are these called? Dior Addict Lip Maximizer. They have that slightly minty feel. I don't even know what this scent is. With an eye like this, I love like that little bit warmer of a kind of a violet color. I could see like putting a little of that color into the eye look. I did tell you that I was bringing out my Phytosurgence blushes for this. And I know who's coming to the party today. We've got Condensate and Fervor that are coming to the party today. This is Condensate. It's a really wonderfully cool toned blush that if there was one blush on the whole planet I could use, it would be Condensate. And Fervor, it's going to be like that start of all these names that these kids have. The cold look, the strawberry look, the latte look. These are going to be beautiful with this. So I'm really excited. All right, we're going to start with the Condensate because it's very benign. I'm going to take an Angie Hot and Flashy A507 brush, which has that nice angle. And I'm coating the bristles here, but I'm also tapping off. I know, like my hands need a bath after I do a full face of makeup. But look at how this is almost, I don't know, there's a coolness to it that pulls a little bit pink, it pulls a little bit mauve-y. It just hits like all those notes. And look at how it's making the eyes, which are going to be the star of the show, they're complementing very nicely. And I have to say, I just don't think that this look needs a whole lot of extra things when you're doing an eye quite like this. If you wanted to, you can take a Q-tip and run it underneath to blend a little, get rid of some of that whiteness, that brightness. That works better for me. And you can start to see what your look is going to need when you get some other makeup on. Okay, so the Condensate is just like this Really soft touch. You can see it's pulling together the eye color and this just really pretty iridescent lip that we have. There we go. I'm gonna put a little fervor on. I'm just gonna use my finger with this one. Surprise, surprise. Tapping off the excess and just going right here up near my eye. Here we go. Ooh, yes, I love it. Love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. I love it. I love this look right now. You're not feeling blended. You're not feeling it. Figure out what you need. Is your crease looking like a shadow? Are you getting your elongation of your eyes? Are you concentrating anything toward the lash line that's going to be a wow? These are questions. I would like to see what happens if we wet a brush. And we're going to do the A505 is going to be our little experiment. Can we spray? Here we go. All right, I'm just going to spray with a little of my Josh Rosebrook Hydrating Accelerator. I'm going to go into this color that they're calling Hollow. I'm going to take it on both sides to kind of get that creaminess. And I'm just going to hit this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. In the center. Yeah, I'd say that worked. Huge difference, huge, huge. Opens up the whole eye. Wow, love that. All right, I'm just gonna take a little of the spray. I could stay here forever, like perfecting it and doing more and more to it. My favorite lip liner is MAC Plum. It's not groundbreaking and new, but I do love this lip liner. And just giving a tiny little bit of definition. But I think this gloss really holds its own. I don't think that the lip liner was incredibly necessary. You can go back in if you're not psyched. You can also put on, you know, if you're into like a purpley kind of a lipstick, you could just put some of this in the center. But it's looking really pretty. I'm gonna do one last thing. I'm gonna take my Lilas from my Chanel Balm, and I'm gonna hit right here. Just a little bit of that iridescent-y color. Okay, guys, what do we think? I've got mixed feelings. I mean, I think that the look came out fine. I could sit here and continue to, you know, try to pull out these colors. The darker colors, they're, you know, purple is very hard to formulate. And if you look at this, there's really only like 3 purpley colors that are in here. The rest of these are gray or champagne, is they're calling it a pink, but I'd call it champagne. It's an interesting mix, and I do think, like, I'm looking at this just against my skin, I could see a lot of places where you're doing a cool tone look, but you need something to bring it together. And I can see pulling this out and it solving your problems and stealing the show. Now, wetting this and doing the middle was, I think, the way to go. But I think this is a really pretty look, and I like it. I really do. I like it. It came together. It was a struggle, but what do you guys think? Do I love it as much as my cool neutrals? I'm never gonna love anything as much as my cool neutrals. This is like my save the day palette. I love it. All right, I'm gonna remove this makeup. Whoa. And I am going to put the bronze on now, which I'm excited about. Just getting these all mixed up here. Okay, yes, the Copper Essentials. So we're gonna go from this coolness to some serious warmth. Very autumnal. And this is sort of like Ice Queen. So I guess we got our winter and our fall. All right, guys. That was crazy. I think this is like nightclub fun, 70s. And I think that you could definitely tone this down and wear it during the day. You could wear one color just in your crease and another one on just your mobile lid. Maybe a tiny little bit on the outside, although those deeper colors were much harder to work with in that palette. Okay, I'm gonna go take this off and we are going to get into the second palette. I will be right back. You know, before I do, I'm gonna zoom you in. So I really would like you to see this eye look. And also just how this cheek being subtle and the lip just picking up some of the iridescent kind of hollow look that you get from this. What I was hoping was that I would be able to take one of those like deep shades that kept giving me a hard time. And you know what? I'm just going to try it anyway because who cares? It's makeup. We're taking it off. Oh, I'm trying that really hard one. I just am. Look at that. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Some of these, like I said, you can work in after your mascara. Okay, I like it. I like this. I just think no matter how you slice this one, the deeper shades are just going to be a little bit on the patchy side. But I think as an overall look, I think it's great. I mean, obviously, you're not going to go out every day of the week to the grocery store with this type of look, but we'll continue using it, and we'll bring it into with some other palettes so that it can be the helper palette that I love it to be. I think the color story is great. I think that most of the shadows performed here well. And we know purples are tough. Purples are the toughest. We're going to expect a lot more out of you, Mr. Copper. So I'm going to wash this off, and we are going to go for look number 2. You know, before I do, I'm going to zoom you in. So I really would like you to see this eye look. And also just how this cheek being subtle and the lip just picking up some of the iridescent kind of hollow look that you get from this. What I was hoping was that I would be able to take one of those like deep shades that kept giving me a hard time. And you know what? I'm just going to try it anyway, because who cares? It's makeup. We're taking it off. Oh, I'm trying that really hard one. I just am. Look at that. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Some of these, like I said, you can work in after your mascara. Okay, I like it. I like this. I just think no matter how you slice this one, the deeper shades are just going to be a little bit on the patchy side. But I think as an overall look, I think it's great. I mean, obviously, you're not going to go out every day of the week to the grocery store with this type of look, but we'll continue using it, and we'll bring it into with some other palettes so that it can be the helper palette that I love it to be. I think the color story is great. I think that most of the shadows performed here well. And we know purples are tough. Purples are the toughest. We're going to expect a lot more out of you, Mr. Copper. So I'm going to wash this off, and we are going to go for look number 2.